Joining us live from the Great Northwest, right here, our good friend of the program, Lars. Larson, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chris. How are you doing? How's Andrea?
Oh, she's back.
I'm back.
She served in your spot in good stead the last time around.
Yeah, she did.
I did all right.
Well, you got some
I let
compliments
Lars
there.
do all the talking.
There you go.
No.
Yeah, it's tough to let Lars do all the talking. He's not that skilled at it. Yeah, just
you just wind me up and
right.
then I go. So what can I say?
We're talking about coffee, the lifeblood of radio, and absolutely, that's our wind.
Black Rifle coffee.
Oh yes,
because Black Rifles matter. It's made by a veterans group. I think they're based in Utah, and I've been buying from them for a number of years. They do make great coffee, and they don't burn the beans like Starbucks does. And we have a regular standing order. We have 4 or 5 of these bags, but we get 2 5-pound bags a month. And between my wife and I, we go through 2 5-pound bags of beans a month.
Wow. That's good.
That's good.
That's a lot of coffee.
That is a lot of coffee, yeah.
Well, we have this snazzy little coffee machine that you pour the beans on one side, you pour the water on the other side, and you go up and hit the button. It grinds the beans and makes you a nice, fresh cup of coffee, and it is delicious black coffee.
This sounds like this would change
It is
my world.
good, yeah. Matt Best and his crew do Black Rifle coffee, and if you want a real kick, go onto YouTube and watch some of the unfiltered Black Rifle coffee commercials from the past. They're incredible. If you're into military and lover of our country and a patriot, you'll love them. They're great.
Well, they're veterans. I mean, the fact I like buying from groups like our challenge coins are made by a veterans group, and we don't make any money off them. We just want the challenge coins, but we let them make the money when I buy coffee from these guys. And I know they got a little sideways with the Kenosha shooting case.
Oh yeah.
But every company makes a misstep. Now, I would not put Bud Light's move, their latest move, in the misstep category, nor would I take the girls' swimsuits with a place to tuck your privates. I don't put that. That's a conscious, stupid decision.
I was actually pretty excited that they put them up front, and now they've moved them somewhere. I can't even find them anymore.
And now they're accusing Target of having caved in to the rest of us. No, Target has decided. And I guess what I wonder is,
they decided to stay in business.
Even at the local radio station level, if you're going to have a promotion at the radio station, chances are the GM and the program director, they're going to sit down for at least a few minutes, say, what's our promotion going to be? And they're, and then you talk about it, and anybody who's, hey, hold on a second, if we put it that way, are people going to misinterpret this? You have a little bit of a planning meeting. Do you suppose anywhere at Target, before they decided to do this, anybody said, hey, folks, anybody seen what happened to Disney when they went woke? Or how about Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch when they went woke? Are you really sure we want to go down this path?
Yeah, exactly. It's common sense, and we just don't seem to have it anymore.
Well, I remember a guy who used to be a program director at our flagship station, and he pulled some crazy stunts. One of them was there's an area in almost any big city that it's known as Chinatown, or Seattle now calls it the International District. Everybody calls it Chinatown, but in Portland there's an area that has all the Chinese restaurants, or a lot of them, and that sort of thing. And he put up a billboard that reflected that line from Full Metal Jacket, and it just said KXL, we love you long time. and he put it up in Chinatown. And let me tell you, it got viral real fast.
I bet it did.
And he knew it was going to,
yes.
and he said that was the whole point.
Right.
And we said, yeah, but that's not necessarily a very safe move to make. So.
It's one thing to push buttons. It's another thing to push those buttons, I guess, in today's day and age.
There's a line that you can't cross.
Oh, yeah. Power to them. I like people like that. Step out. It's a little over the line, but hey, good for you. Crazy times, of course, out there in the world. Possibly, is it a bunch of hype regarding the debt ceiling increase? Because I think some Republicans may vote no on this.
That they've cut a deal between McCarthy and Biden? No, I think they've cut a deal. The question is, can McCarthy get the Republicans in the House? I guess 8 of them have already said, I'm not voting for it.
Right.
And he has a 4-vote margin. Well, I think I can do the math on that. I may have gone to high school, but I can do the math on that one. And why? Because For example, they got a tiny cut in the IRS budget, but the $80 billion that Republicans had vowed to end so that they wouldn't hire 87,000 new agents over the next 10 years, they didn't cut that out. And they clawed back some small amount of the COVID money. And I hope people understand what's going on here. During COVID, there was an emergency. The Congress said we're shoveling out money like with a barn shovel. And then the emergency is over, and all these cities and counties and states that got all this cash said, hey, we haven't spent a lot of it. The Congress should logically say, well, if you haven't spent it and the emergency's over, send the money back. And that's what the Republicans should have done. And, of course, the Democrats are saying, no, they get to keep the money. Why? If the emergency is over, the money was sent to meet an emergency. I always compare it to if your adult kids call, Mom, Dad, I'm really in trouble. I need some money fast. Okay, we'll send you $500 by Western Union or put it on your card or whatever. We'll send it to you. 2 weeks later, they've gotten through whatever emergency it was. Mom, Dad said, so how'd that go? Did the $500 help? Oh, yeah, we only spent about 100 of it. And Mom and Dad would say, well, you're going to give the other 400 back, right? And the kids go, no, we'd rather keep it.
We'd rather keep it. There's only one reason they want to keep the money, especially in the shall we say, the coastal regions of the United States and in the bluer areas, and that is the guidelines, as we discussed last week a little bit, are so vague on what you can actually use the money for. What a great opportunity to put it into the coffers of donors.
Well, let me give you an idea of this. In housing, the state of Oregon, and I know their state budget a little bit better, they got a bunch of extra money for Medicaid. That's medical health insurance for the poor. They've just announced they're going to spend it on housing. And you go, hold on. I know money is what the economists call fungible. $20 can be spent on anything you want. Well, but if you gave it as Medicaid money, how does it get spent on housing?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, nobody's going to do anything about it. It's going to happen.
I'll give you one good local example. I bet probably Susanville is too sensible for this, but Portland and the state of Oregon, they have this new housing project, and they're complaining, it's not going that well. It's state-funded housing, affordable housing, right? The average apartment nationwide in America costs an average of $125 a square foot. If you go to San Francisco, an average apartment is $300 a square foot to build it. In Los Angeles, it's $500 a square foot. Oregon is going to build affordable housing apartments, average size 750 square feet, for over $500,000, working out to more than $700 a square foot. I'll bet every contractor who's listening to your show right now who builds houses is thinking, in Susanville, I'm averaging maybe 200, maybe 250, and if you're doing 400 a square foot, that's a luxury home. I mean, that's nice stuff. If you don't believe me, look at Zillow. And you say, and they're going to spend $700 a square to make freaking apartments?
Affordable?
They have gold-plated toilets or something?
Housing? and it's considered affordable housing?
It's called affordable housing because every time the government wants to do something nasty, they come up with a warm, fuzzy name for it to camouflage what it's really doing. Like having a center that has killers in it, and you call it a children's center.
Fortunately, here in our area, we don't have any, say, conflict or any affordable housing conversations going on at the time. I'm making a big joke right now because it's like the controversial thing of the hour right now in our community.
You got to ask them how much they spend per square foot on the affordable housing they build, and then we live in a house right now we're in the middle of selling that is going to sell for just under $300 a square foot.
Man.
Our community that sell for up to $500 a square foot. We're buying one that's coming in at $254 a square foot, which is still a ton of money, but it's not $700 a square foot.
Yeah, I know ours isn't considering that high, but
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. Again, they find a way to make sure the money goes where it needs to go.
As long as they put a fuzzy name on it.
As long as you put a fuzzy name on it. I like that. I'm going to have to go to some meetings and give these guys some ideas for some creative names for projects.
Well,
help them out.
What's fun is because these guys played it right out in front, they said, why, this is 96 units and it's $52.3 million. And I thought, well, I'll go back to my high school math skills, divide $52.7 million by 96 units. it's $550,000, and the average apartment, because they build a mix of, studios, 1s, 2s, and a few 3s, the average apartment is 750 square feet. That's $738 a square foot. And I bet your contractors who are listening right now are driving off the road going, $700 a square foot? What?
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting when you go in and actually look at them, because it's not going to look like $700 a square foot when they're built.
Oh, wait till they've been lived in by the low-income housing people who are going to live in them. You know what? When I say the words public housing, what image immediately comes to mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've got a story to tell you. We're out of time now. We'll maybe continue this conversation next week. Lars, always great to talk to you, buddy. Affordable housing. Who's it affordable for? Not the taxpayer.
It's like jumbo shrimp and military intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No such thing.
Take care, you too.
You too. You have a good one, Lars. Have a great time. You can catch Lars Larson following live at 5 right here on 93, or actually 1240 KSUE.
Yes.